Logging perils. Loggers in forests like those of the Pacific Northwest confront nature's raw power daily. A typical shift begins at dawn, navigating muddy slopes with 200-foot Douglas firs looming overhead. Chainsaws scream through trunks, but a misjudged cut can trigger a barber chair split, sending tons of splintered wood crashing down. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics pegs logging's fatality rate at 111 per 100,000 workers, driven by falling trees, equipment rollovers, and saw kickbacks. Protective gear, hard hats, chaps, offers little defense against a 2-ton trunk. Remote sites mean help is hours away, and rain or fog can turn a routine cut into a fatal trap. Average salary, $50,000.
Deep sea fishing dangers. Commercial fishermen in the Bering Sea or North Atlantic battle relentless oceans for their catch. Aboard trawlers, crews deploy 700-pound crab pots in 40-foot swells and gale-force winds. The deck, slick with ice and fish slime, becomes a death zone where a snapped cable can decapitate or a rogue wave can sweep workers into 34-degree Fahrenheit water. The BLS reports a fatality rate of 100 per 100,000, with drownings and vessel capsizings leading. Immersion suits buy minutes, but hypothermia kills fast. Rescue helicopters battling blinding spray may arrive too late. Average salary, $70,000.
High-rise ironworking hazards. Iron workers on skyscrapers in cities like New York scale steel skeletons 500 feet above concrete. A typical day involves bolting 40-foot beams amid 35-mile-per-hour gusts that sway the structure. Harnesses and lanyards are lifelines, but a frayed strap or missed clip can send a worker plummeting. The BLS cites a fatality rate of 71 per 100,000, with falls and struck-by incidents dominating. Tools slip, beams shift, and lightning looms as threats. Emergency response crawls at such heights. Elevators delay paramedics, making every step a high-stakes dance where one slip means a fatal fall. Average salary, $60,000.
Offshore Oil Rig Catastrophes. Roughnecks on Gulf of America oil platforms drill into volatile reservoirs miles below the seabed. A night shift might see workers monitoring well pressure when a gas kick erupts, igniting a fireball that engulfs the rig in 200-foot flames. The BLS notes a fatality rate of 27 per 100,000, driven by explosions, equipment failures, and falls. Flame-resistant coveralls can't shield against shrapnel or toxic gas clouds. Lifeboats are often unreachable through smoke, and choppy seas delay Coast Guard rescues. 50 miles from shore, every alarm signals a potential inferno with no escape. Average salary, around $80,000.
Underground mining risks. Miners in coal or copper shafts descend 1,200 feet into claustrophobic tunnels. Operating massive cutters in 95-degree Fahrenheit heat and choking dust, they carve through unstable rock. A sudden roof collapse can bury workers under tons of debris, as seen in Arizona mines. The BLS reports a fatality rate of 19 per 100,000, with rock falls, explosions, and asphyxiation as top killers. Respirators and self-rescuers offer fleeting protection when air hoses snap. Rescue teams drill for hours through rubble, guided by faint seismic signals.
Each shift is a journey into a potential tomb where the earth itself can turn traitor. Average salary, $60,000. Tower climbing fatalities. Tower climbers scaling 2,000-foot radio or wind turbine towers face extreme heights and unpredictable weather. A typical job involves hauling 50 pounds of tools up a ladder in 40-mile-per-hour winds, clipping into anchors that are their only defense against a fall. The BLS estimates a fatality rate near 100 per 100,000, matching fishing's peril, with falls and electrocutions leading. A single unclipped moment or a lightning strike can end it all. Remote tower locations delay emergency response, leaving climbers stranded on narrow platforms. Every rung climbed is a test of nerve, where gravity waits for a single lapse. Average salary, approximately $55,000.
Explosive Ordnance Disposal, EOD Nightmares. EOD technicians in conflict zones defuse bombs and IEDs under life or death pressure. A mission might involve kneeling beside a rigged explosive in a dusty street, using only hand tools to disarm it. Precise fatality rates are classified, but estimates suggest a 20% mortality risk per deployment in active combat. A wrong cut or hidden secondary device triggers blasts with thousands of pounds of force. Blast suits offer partial protection, but shrapnel and shockwaves shred through. Remote settings and enemy threats delay medevacs, making every wire a lethal puzzle, where perfection is the only path to survival. Average salary, about $50,000 civilian, $85,000 military.
Bush pilot crashes. Bush pilots in Alaska or the Arctic fly through storms and rugged terrain to reach remote outposts. A typical flight navigates a small plane through blizzards or fog, landing on gravel strips carved into tundra. The BLS notes a fatality rate of 58 per 100,000 for commercial pilots, but bush piloting's isolation spikes the risk. Engine failure or a misjudged approach can crash a plane into mountains, leaving pilots to face negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit cold with no immediate rescue. Radios falter in dead zones, and survival hinges on skill and luck. Each takeoff is a gamble against nature's harshest elements, with nowhere to hide if the plane fails. Average salary, $80,000.
Subscribe for more untold stories and drop your next idea in the comments.